Hello, hello. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, Kiwi. Hello, Cynthia. Hello, Baroshat. I saw you were waiting. I was checking in to make sure I got the stream all set up properly, like around like what, 3 o'clock I want to say, and then I was just like, why is the duck here? It's so early. For a second I thought I like messed up the time I scheduled it, and like I was so confused. I was like, did I schedule this too early? Did I mess up? Am I late? It was so funny. I like literally panicked for like a solid like minute, and I was like, oh no, everything's set up just fine. How was your Easter? I forgot it was Easter. I'm not gonna lie. I completely forgot it had been Easter. I didn't even figure it out. Hello, PJ. I didn't even figure it out till like later in the afternoon when I went to one of my local game stores to play some Pokemon. And when I went, they were like, Happy Easter! And I was like, oh shit, it's Easter. I was unaware. Which, you know, is a little ironic, because you would think that, like, you know, the rabbit would be aware of the rabbit day. But she hath forgotten. Pokemon Champions is peak. Ooh, is it? I haven't gotten the chance to play it yet. We ended up playing Magic the other day on Twitch. But I think at some point this coming week, I might try out Pokemon Champions on stream. I downloaded it, so it's on my Switch already. So that is something that we're probably going to be looking into. Might do it Wednesday, methinks, because Tomodachi Life comes out on Thursday. I don't know if I'm going to end up streaming that day, because I also have my Pokemon Standard night. So usually Thursdays is like I get to go outside, touch grass, and play some Pokemon, you know? But we'll see. Yeah, I assumed. Apparently there's like a battle pass thing with it. I'm assuming because the game was free to download. And they also limit your storage on how many Pokemon you can have in there. I feel a certain way about it. But at the same time, I'm like, how many Pokemon are people putting into the game? But I also don't play competitively, so I don't know if there's like 30 Pokemon you want to be able to switch between or what, and then, you know, of course there's going to be new Pokemon added in the future, so I'm like, okay, you know, maybe limiting the storage is a little bit icky. Alright. Excited for another art fight challenge? I'm excited for art fight. I know it's only like 3 months away, but I'm already prepping for it. I still have some designs I need to do. But I'm very excited for the full event. If they drop a mini challenge in between, I don't know if I'll be able to get to it. I really want to do the winter one this year, just so I can at least do a side challenge instead of just focusing on the main event. But we'll see. I did do the April Fool's one, though. That one was really funny. I'm gonna move myself towards the center a little bit more. Or did they already announce it, actually? I'm unsure. Nope, doesn't look like it. Yeah, aside from that, I'm super excited for the event. I'm probably gonna have a few more videos come out for it. I know I want to do an updated art fight guide to include the things that I learned from last year. And then I'm probably gonna have another prep video because there's... I don't want to spoil too much, but there's a character I might add. We'll see. I'm still working on it. And I'm thinking of redesigning some old OCs that I have. So we'll see. It's a big maybe because I don't want to have too many characters on my roster. I know how it feels to choose between like 20 different characters and you don't know which one to do because they all look so tempting. But I also know that a lot of people have very different interests, and considering how a good chunk of them are just pretty girls, I gotta work on my variation, you know? Oh, I'm hoping Art Fight this year is just as chaotic. The fact that both teams were at a constant, like, even split the entire month was so fun. Compared to the year before where Stardust was basically dominating for most of the month. Like, it was so fun because everyone was just like, oh god, we gotta tip the scales. That was wild. I still think about it. How it literally came down to the Art Fight moderators going down and making sure that points were accurate. Yeah, it was crazy. I can't wait for them to announce the theme, though. I'm anxiously awaiting for it. I want to give my Sona's alt outfits. That is the goal. That's why I'm starting so early with the prep work, so that way by the time they announce the theme, all I have to do is just work on, like, giving my Sona's cute little outfits, and then changing my themes and stuff. I'll be impressed if I do more than 30 drawings. How many did I do last year? I think it was like 20 something. Hold on. Where's my statistics? Uh, 13 plus 15, 5, 6, 7, 28. Yeah, 6, 12, 18, 24. Yep, 28 total. So I guess, damn, 28 was already a lot. I did 28? Holy shit. Man, what's the... Do I shoot myself in the foot 3 months before the event and announce a goal? I feel like if I do that, y'all will never let me live it down. Especially if I don't reach the goal. Hello, Aurora. The night was pretty cool. It looked good. Man, what would even be a reasonable goal? Now I have to think about this. This is a legitimate question in my mind. What would be a feasible goal after I did 28? Do I think I can do more is the thing. because like I've improved, but I don't know if I've gotten faster at drawing. I think I'm like around the same level. How about this? We'll do this. We'll set up like a tiered thing, right? The first goal is to beat the original record of 28, right? If I get more than 28, the goal after that is to get to 35. I think that sounds fair. Because I have no idea if I've gotten faster at drawing. I don't know. I don't feel like I have. I feel like I'm at the same level, so I don't know if I could say, like, I want to hit 45. I feel like I'd sooner perish in a river, you know? I always do this. There you go. Let's see if Bunny can draw braids. Oh, no. I will figure it out. I swear I will figure it out. One day I will be able to draw braids confidently, chat. Mark my words. Apologies for the hiccups. I consumed my food too fast. Because I was like, oh no, it's stream time. Here we go. Very nice. Oh, before I forget, for those of you participating in Art Fight, or you're thinking of participation, when you're setting up your characters, they added this new feature called Connections. It is super nice because you can add some extra little tidbits about the character's relationship to each other. There is a word limit. It's 151 words. I found out the hard way. But you can set up connections now between your characters, and I abused it. I sat there for a good hour setting up stuff. It's one of my favorite features now. There we go. This is something I just keep constantly doing to myself. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. I keep adding braids to character designs when I just cannot draw braids, but I just keep adding them anyway. When will I learn from my hubris? Hello, Ches. The gods have slighted me with the curse of enjoying braids. They are fun, but they're a bitch to draw. I don't know why, the heart method just doesn't feel right to me. I don't know what it is. I tried it before, but I just don't know what it is. Yeah, we don't want them tangents. Oh my goodness, not YouTube trying to silence you again. Interesting. Not the whimsy. Yeah, sometimes you may never realize it, that the slight adjustments. Unironically, I have no idea why YouTube doesn't like Ches. I tried looking into it and I just could not find anything, and I was just like, I guess it's just a fact, huh? Oh my goodness. What did you do to spite the YouTube gods, Ches? You had to have done something. There's gotta be a reason why the YouTube gods have decided, you know what, this one, we're gonna smite this one directly. There's gotta be something, Ches. A clue. Yeah, maybe there's too much puff. I guess YouTube sensed that, huh? I don't know, Ches. I guess YouTube just decided this one. We're trying to contain the whimsy. Not the whimsy containment unit. I think this is the most adjustments I've made to like sketch in a while. I just now realized how big the bangs were in comparison to the head, so it just looked a little too wacky. So now we're trying to adjust that. Which is why I keep going back and making so many small adjustments until like it feels right, you know? Just so the head feels proportionate. Hello, Lay Channel. Oh my goodness. I'm pretty sure, isn't Cheese Miku actually a thing though? Or am I thinking of fan art? I have not seen the new Super Mario Galaxy movie yet. I'm waiting for Mod Man to come back so we can watch it together. Surprisingly, have not heard anything about it yet. Hoo-hoo. Maybe it's too high. Let me adjust it. While I'm working on this, for those of you who are participating in Art Fight, how many of y'all are revamping your character sheets, or are you adding some new characters? I'm curious to know, because I'm kind of going through a little bit of both. Ooh, Ches is updating his reference. Give Iris that glow up. That's always the fun part, seeing the glow up. Trust me, Ches, you want to start getting the practice in early, otherwise you'll be like me, still trying to get used to drawing dudes. Start it early on. Do yourself a favor. Oh, you're adding more characters to the roster, Kiwi? Gonna expand the portfolio. We're getting somewhere. Yeah, I think the ponytail is just a little too high. Is there even a name for a braided ponytail? Ah! Chess! Kiwi, you have a whole fucking OC army. Holy crap. Calm down. Leave some for the rest of us, damn. I'm not the hiccups. I hate the hiccups. You thought Grace was hiccuping? Oh my goodness. Which, oh, that reminds me, I've got to check really quick. Yeah. So, on a side note, really good news. We're almost on the path to affiliate on Twitch, folks. I will say that this has been a lot simpler than it is to get monetized on YouTube. There's like 4 goals you have to hit. God, I wish, Ches. God, I wish. But there's like 4 goals you have to hit. 2 of them are literally just streaming a certain amount of times, which I've already hit since I stream like 2 times a week on Twitch, which I don't know if I'm going to increase it. I don't think so, because that's how the schedule gets absolutely decimated. But we've already hit those. We're about to hit another goal where I have to hit like a minimum number of viewers on 4 different days, which were 3 out of the 4 days, so we just need 1 more day of 3 average viewers, it says. Which should be fine, because I'm pretty sure I'll be streaming something Pokemon related on Wednesday. But the last one we're missing is to reach 25 followers. We're at 12, so we're almost halfway there. Nope. We are halfway there, basically. Math is a skill I have. Math is indeed a skill I have. But I think once we get affiliated on YouTube, not YouTube, sorry. Once we get affiliated on Twitch, I might bring back the sub goals. We'll see. I just have to make them more manageable so I can actually make sure I keep like consistently fulfilling them. But I think one of the ones I might do if we hit a certain goal is probably that I'll play Resident Evil 9 since I've been seeing everyone going crazy about it. The only thing is that y'all know I just don't vibe with horror games. But it looks like half the game is horror and the other one is just Leon. So, you know, it looks a little bit more feasible. Yeah, the goals started getting really backed up because my work kept asking me to come in more days. And I was like, well, shit, I need the money, so I can't really say no. So I had to keep taking more shifts, and I'm like, I can't keep all this stuff up. Which kind of sucks, because I feel like that stunted the channel growth a little bit. Because I couldn't, like, post as well. So I've gotta make up for it. So we're getting back on track, folks, but it might take a bit. Jobs are evil, Ches, but unfortunately you need them. You also need them to keep you, like, out of the house and not, like, stir crazy. That's why every now and then I have to go touch grass and play Pokemon at a local game store so I'm not cooped up. I feel like a caged animal. And the zookeeper is me. Yes. I am caged to my desk. I have to remember sharper edges. Sharper edges. Remember, sharp. Sharp. Not round. Sharp. Better. But I don't like how that curve's going. We have to fix that. A little bit better, but that is going to go through here and make this weird little gap, but it's alright. Sometimes it be like that. There we go. And then if you guys are wondering what I'm working on, it is for a upcoming video, actually. God damn it. And essentially, I'm working on it today, not only because it's like fun to give like little sneak peeks and stuff, because obviously this isn't going to be the only design. There's going to be other ones in the video that you guys won't see, because I'll be working on those behind the scenes. But not only that, but also just because I like being productive. Because usually if I don't like finish like at least a sketch or a drawing a day, I feel like I'm not being productive. And I do not like that feeling, even though it is perfectly fine to take a break every now and then. But my brain's like, no, you have to do something. Ah, yes. The usual Ches overstimulates himself on a daily basis. Overstimulation hell. But, yeah, this is basically for an upcoming video, so for those of you who aren't as aware, magic is also one of my very enjoyed hobbies, aside from Pokemon. And this month, later this month actually, a new set is coming out, and it is Secrets of Strixhaven. And it's a really cool set. It had a first set. This is actually the second Strixhaven set. The other one that came out is like the base set. This one's basically an expansion upon that. And what's really cool is it's literally focused on like academia kind of aesthetic. There's different colleges for different like color identities. There's 4. And what's really fun is that I don't want to compare it to Harry Potter. I really don't. But like, I guess you could think of it like Harry Potter, because it's like, you know, you choose your faction essentially. I don't like Harry Potter, but it's the closest comparison. But yeah, you choose your college, and each one's based on like different 2 color combinations. There is Witherbloom, which is essentially like the nature-y druids, witches, and stuff like that. Their whole thing is like the balance of life and death, and they're black and green. There's Lorehold, which is basically fixated on order versus chaos, and they're like big history buffs. And they're focused on like studying history and figuring out if history is doomed to be repeated or if history can be changed, you know, like the past affecting the future, if that stuff matters. And those are red and white for their colors. There's Silverquill, which is basically like the fancy schmancy college that, you know, a lot of people see as villains because they're really out for themselves. They're focused on written oral magic, and they control like ink. And those guys are black and white, I believe. And then there's Quandrix, which is the math-centric one. They're focused on physics, and like they're the most scientific of the colleges. Their whole thing is blue and green. And the last one should be Prismari. I remembered. That one's blue-red, and those are basically the artistic students who focus on elemental magic and self-expression versus technique. I know that was a big info dump, but it's a lot simpler once it's like put down to paper and stuff like that. I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head. But essentially, the factions are really fun to sort into because there's so many different aspects to them that you could like sort into, not only by the play style of the colors, of course, because you can actually have the precons that play with those colors and stuff like that, but it's also just the ideologies and the focuses of each college that's like, oh, does this fit me the best or does that fit me the best? Am I going off of play style, or am I going off of like lore wise? But it's really cool. And the other cool part about Strixhaven, why it's a set that I like a lot, is because in the card game and not just in the lore, there is this thing called the Mystical Archives, which is basically a bonus sheet for the set. It is full of such pretty card art. Beautiful, stunning card art. And they revealed so many of them, and I want a good chunk. They're absolutely gorgeous, and I know they're going to be so damn expensive. But in the upcoming video, which I don't know when it's going to be released yet, because it looks like I might finish it early since this is the drawing 2 out of 3. So we'll see if it gets posted this week, or if it gets posted next week. It depends on how fast I can edit everything together. But basically it's an exploration of different college designs. And this one is Lorehold. And I don't know if it's real obvious, but that's me. Of course, I would put myself in the Strixhaven universe. What else are these hands for, you know? But I'm not going to spoil the other 2 designs, but I feel like I feel like that might be a little semi-obvious, but it is what it is, you know? But who doesn't want to have... Who doesn't ever have, like, the idea of what you would look like if you were in, like, a certain franchise or, like, IP? You know, we've all had those moments, and I actually get to visualize it. So I'm going to take full advantage of it. But I envisioned myself as a Lorehold student. It was a bit of a tough choice, I'm not going to lie. Especially because Prismari's right there. The only thing that, you know, put me off of Prismari, because Prismari is like the college of like the artistic students, right? Not only with art, but also dance and instruments and stuff like that. The only thing that put me off of it is the fact that it's highly focused on elemental magic. And if I was in the Magic the Gathering universe, right? I don't think I would be extremely focused on like purely elemental magic. If that was the case, I could literally just make like my character in the Avatar universe, you know what I mean? I feel like if I was in Magic, I would want to focus on a different thing rather than elemental magic, because like I could also just make myself an Avatar Sona if that was the case. So I was like, I don't want to focus on like the elemental side of it. So instead, I went towards Lorehold because it was pretty interesting with the order versus chaos. Another thing is that when I was in school, I loved history. It was one of my favorite like classes. It was really fun learning about all the fun stuff on history. You know, like the Great Molasses Flood. But you know, other stuff as well. History is just a really, like, fun thing to, look into, because there's a lot of weird stuff in history that people just don't cover normally, like the Great Molasses Flood. But aside from that, I had a really big interest in it when I was younger. Still do, but not as much now, especially because my memory just continues to get worse. So, unfortunately, I could not retain a lot of what I learned, which sucks. Because I would be like, oh shit, I know this, wait, hold on, I could totally explain it right now. But it's all lost. But it sucks, bro. I had so many facts in my noggin. Gone. Like, I did a whole report on, Hatshepsut. The female pharaoh, the female Egyptian pharaoh, the only one in history, because she pretended to be a man. because it was easier for people to follow her because, you know, obviously men. But so many facts. I did a whole, like, what is it, trifold display and everything. I looked up so much shit. I had so many fun facts prepared and at the ready. Couldn't tell ya. I would just look you in the eyeballs and say, go watch Puppet History. Go watch Puppet History. You'll learn so much. You'll learn a lot more than you're gonna get from me, because I don't even remember. I hate how men both explained everything and didn't explain anything at the time. What do you mean? Men. No, it's because, you know, people would only listen to men in charge. If a woman was like, hey, I want to be in charge, they'd laugh at her. Or, you know, execute her. You know? Tis were the times. But, I also did a whole ass essay and another project on Rosa Parks. I fucking loved learning about Rosa Parks. I don't know why. I just was absolutely obsessed with her. I thought she was the coolest fucking person on the planet for a good, like, year and a half. Couldn't tell you a lick of what I've learned. No fun facts, nothing. All gone. I just know she was a cool lady. And because of her, we got a really cool movement. So, you know. It sucks having a very bad memory. That's also why it sucks sometimes when I'm just like, man, I should probably tell a story on stream, right? But I can't remember a lot of things off the top of my head, so I'm like, I don't know what stories to tell. Like, most of my memories are like triggered by like keywords. If my husband were to mention something, I would be like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember that. But it just be how it be. Yeah. Just anything that, like, connects with it will be like, oh shit, I remember this thing. I envy people with really good memories. It's like, how do you keep all that in your noggin? What's a good thing, though, is I have muscle memory, which means I could still drive a car. Even after, like, not driving for, like, 4 months because my husband doesn't want to let me drive because he's scared of me driving. But, regardless. Which, by the way, chat, if my man ever tells y'all that I can't drive, he's a fucking liar. He's a fucking liar. Don't believe him. I can drive. Hello, Shadowbean. No. Why would you believe him, Ches? Listen here, I have never been in an accident. Ever. And I grew up in Florida. So I'm just saying, I think that's pretty impressive on my record. Exactly! Never been in a single incident. And keep in mind, most of my friends have been in an accident or two, depending on the friend. So, I'm just saying, that's a pretty impressive record right there. I think I can certifiably say I am a decent driver. I've never been in Texas. I wouldn't know. We have a verified Texan confirming. This is good enough for me. 2 Texans. Can confirm it is ass. Oh my goodness. I can imagine. I don't know what it is about, like, the people in Florida. I highly believe it's literally just the tourists that can't drive. But at the same time, I can also believe that Floridians can't drive. And there's only one explanation I will accept in my mind, is because they keep building new fucking roads, so no one knows where anything is. It's like, hey, I've memorized this route. Oh, wait, there's a new road going through this fucking route, so I have to change everything I know. Right? There's just so much construction. It's like, can y'all build your new hotels, like, somewhere else? Like, please? I forgot he said that. Chat, I'm telling you right now, I would not be surprised. I would absolutely not be surprised if one day I was to get canceled for something my husband said. I'm telling you right here, right now, that someday, somewhere, someone's gonna clip something of my husband saying something wildly out of context. They're gonna go on Twitter and they're gonna be like, she's so problematic because her husband said this. And I'm gonna be like, so we don't know what jokes are anymore? Because trust me, if my husband was to say something out of line, I would directly call that shit out. I've done it before because, one thing that I've had to, like, get used to is army humor. And I tell him every time before stream, I'm like, alright, honey, I need you to turn off the army humor because, you know, obviously we want to keep things, you know, PG-13 at very least, right? Because I'm not gonna lie, his coworkers have affected his sense of humor so much, it has gotten worse. Because army humor is literally just saying the wildest shit for no reason. And it's even worse that, because, like, literally one day my husband told me, he's just like, man, you know what I just realized? The army is, like, full of racists. And I was like, oh, no. And I was like, oh, fuck. So if that gives you guys a little bit of an idea of how yikes army humor is. So every time before stream, I'm just like, alright, we gotta turn off that button right now. So, you know, there is that. I can at least be thankful for the fact that my husband is a smart man. He does know when, like, a joke does go too far. But, you know, I can't really fault him because, unfortunately, he's very much surrounded by it. But I have no doubt in the future someone's gonna take something out of context, and I'm gonna have to be like, alright, I can sit down and explain this and be like, it's a joke. Just watch me be the first person to say, alright, honey, that's too much. You gotta go. You gotta go into the corner. Honestly, maybe I should have Ren add, like, a little dunce hat to his raccoon model. Yeah, you know exactly the sense of humor, Kiwi. It's fucked. And keep in mind, sometimes there's even jokes that his coworker says that he's like, whoa, that's fucked up. You know, so he at least still has a sense of, alright, we've gone too far. Alright, I think what I need to do, because obviously this section is driving me a little crazy, we're gonna do that, so I don't have to worry about... Huh. Oh my god! My notifications are working! Yippee! Not the Texas ad. Was it for Texas Roadhouse? Man, I could go for like a butter roll right now. I can't wait for my husband to come back and I'll just be like, honey, let's go on a date to Texas Roadhouse. I want a butter roll. Damn, if it was Texas Roadhouse, it would have been funny. Yeah, the cinnamon butter! This might be one of my more detailed outfits, and I don't know how I feel about it. No, do not bark, doggo. Don't do this. No, he bark. Ooh, you could definitely post that in the Discord. I would love to see it. Little Polaroids. We're getting somewhere. The vest actually looks pretty decent. Not tangents. God damn it. Ooh, let me turn on the light. The room's getting a little dark. Alright, there we go. There we go. Oh, those are cute. Feral. All right. Whiteboard fox. What is that? It's a whiteboard fox. Ah, I have not. I think I've just used magma. Oh, slowly but surely. Oh no, that doesn't line up. There we go. Why am I thinking... Why did that come to mind? Is this even a real thing? Oh my god, it is. God, this is so old. Do you ever just have a random memory come up about a really old game you used to play as a kid, and it just comes out of nowhere and reminds you that is a thing that you played when you were younger? I just had that. And, that's crazy. Man, they made a second game for Dungeon Defenders? That's crazy. When did this release? 2017. Hmm. And it's still being updated. It's pretty cool. Alright, back from being sidetracked.
Nintendo.
Oh. Wait, that's too big. This one's a little far from the others. How many coins does it take to build a coin? Depends on what coin you're building with what coin. If you're trying to build a quarter out of, like, pennies, you would need 25 pennies. Yeah, think about the conversion rate. Hello, Cult of the Hermits. Welcome to the stream. I'm currently drawing a design for my Sona in Strixhaven. If you're not familiar with Strixhaven, it is a plane of existence from Magic the Gathering, which is a TCG card game that has a lot of lore. But essentially, they're releasing a new set at the end of this month, so I'm currently working on a video where I convert a few characters into Strixhaven students. Think Harry Potter, but better. They basically have different colleges that are associated with different, like, ideologies. Trading card game. Is that what I said? My bad. Let's see. It does, but at some point, TCG just becomes its own thing in my brain. I've seen it so much because whenever people, they just say TCG, but then my brain goes, TCG card game. I did not think about how I wanted these to be connected to this little fold right here, so I think what we're gonna do... I think I have a few options. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move the buckle over here. This might help out. You should definitely fuel yourself. Food is good. I ate some food before stream because I knew I was gonna get hungry. You should eat, Ches. I'm always an advocate that you should eat food. What is the lore of Magic the Gathering? I feel like I'm gonna get shot. TLDR, Magic the Gathering essentially works on the premise that the players are planeswalkers. And essentially what planeswalkers are basically people with like a spark that lets them like travel to alternate planes of existence. And the whole setting takes place around like this big old group of planeswalkers that travel the multiverse. You know, fighting evil, doing silly stuff. And there's like tons of different planes of existences that you can visit. Each new set of Magic the Gathering is set in a different plane of existence that has its own overarching story. And all of that mixes together with like a certain like story arc theme for the entirety of the story. But for Strixhaven, I'm not quite sure what the plot is for that. I know it's following like a group of students as they discover a mystery. I don't know what that mystery entails, though. We're finding it out slowly but surely. What's really cool is that in the Magic the Gathering, they have certain cards called Spotlight cards, Story Jesus Christ. Story Spotlight or Story Highlight. And essentially those cards are the ones that specifically highlight like certain key events in the lore of this specific set. So there is a way to tell what's going on. It's really funny that you say that, Hermit, but there's literally one of the expansions is Dungeons and Dragons, and then D&D had another expansion in Magic for Battle at Baldur's Gate. So it's really funny that you mentioned that. D&D is literally in Magic the Gathering. And it's also funny because they collaborated, so there's also some Magic the Gathering inspired D&D modules, such as, I want to say, the Theros one. There is, ironically, a Strixhaven. It's Curriculum of Chaos is the Strixhaven D&D module that D&D released, where you can actually play in Strixhaven. Shit, there's another one. Damn, what do I want to do here? I feel like that is a lot in a very... It's a lot of lines in a very small area, so this might not be the play. Could try with some rope. Do I have to grab a rope brush? Because I don't think I have one. Hold on, chat. I'm grabbing a brush real quick. Oh wow, my new video's not doing too bad. I love seeing it. Oh my god, my Clip Studio wants to be so slow, please. I just want a good rope brush. That one's pretty decent. Alright. Put it to clothing for now. Okay, I grabbed it. There we go. Yes, get yourself some pizza. Consume. There we go. I think for an added touch, we'll go up here. Ah, there we go. Yeah. There we go. That way I don't just have to leave that stuff and be like, oh, it's being held up by magic. No, that was gonna bother me. That was gonna bother me so hard. Very nice. Where'd all these layers come from? There we go. I think what we'll do. I think that looks fine. And then depending on what color scheme I go for, I could just erase the trimmings if I don't want them. What's your other snack? This changes everything. Why is there hesitation? I'm not filled with a lot of confidence because of the hesitation, Shadowbean. What kind of nefarious snack do you have? The breadstick and cookie butter combo. Without a doubt. That is the only correct option. I won't work in the middle for now. Yes, new discoveries. Oh, it's straight from Biscoff? That shit's gotta be good. Farewell, sir soldier. Oh no, that is not the correct angle. It good? I'm gonna assume it's good. That sounds like the discovery of a new favorite snack. I would know because that was literally me when I discovered Fritos, the twists, the barbecue twists. I love those. It's so yummy. I might have to tilt it a little bit. There we go. Oh. I'll see if I like how that sleeves look once I finish with the hand, but I feel like that might be a little... I'm gonna have to probably reverse it so that way this is going... Okay, yeah, okay. Oh, that's right, I went off the page when I was sketching the fucking legs. The leggies! What time is it? 7:50. It is almost time to walk the dog. Oh, I stretch. You have two options ahead of you, Shadowbean. You either A, put as much butter as you can on that last breadstick and suffer from success. Or B, you eat the breadsticks like an animal and then you proceed to finish the deal. You finish the butter how you were born to finish the butter. Only if you're a coward, Shadowbean. Only if you're a coward. Fulfill your destiny. Revert back to base animal instinct. it's coming along decently. I think this is one of the more intricate outfits I've designed recently. Especially with all the patterns that's going to be on it once we go to the coloring stage. Alright. I think we've gotten pretty far though. It is almost time for me to walk my doggo, so I think we're going to end stream here today. A bit of a shorter one than usual, but I gotta try sleeping at a reasonable time. Oh my goodness. I have been so eepy sleepy today. Because after the other night's stream, we were up till like, what, 2 a.m. after stream talking, because we both were saying like, yeah, we should go to bed, and then we just kept talking because we were getting into the conversation, and I was like, shit. This is what happened when you put two people together who really like talking about their special interests. It's like an infinite feedback loop. It was so funny, but oh my god, I'm so tired. Let me see, what, tomorrow is Sunday? We'll see. Definitely next stream's gonna be on Wednesday. That one's gonna be the gaming Twitch stream. Might do another art stream on YouTube earlier in the week. We'll see. It depends on how much time I have for stuff. Especially because I have to do some more sketches. But for now, keep an eye out for that next video that's going to come out, because y'all are going to get to see the finished product in that video. You know, got to keep something left over for you guys. But while we're waiting for that new video to come out either this week or next week, depending on how fast I can, you know, get everything sketched out and finished, I completely ruined my own spiel, but yeah, don't forget to check out my new video that came out. Share it with your friends, with your family, and fun stuff like that. I see that it's getting a little bit of traction, and I'm like, whoop, whoop. But yeah, don't forget to check out that video. That one was a lot of fun to work on. I basically touch up my characters that needed a little bit of a glow up for Art Fight, and I redesigned one character. It was real fun to work on, and there's probably going to be another Art Fight prep video in the future before Art Fight starts, and then my Art Fight guide are definitely 2 videos that are going to come out within the next 3 months. But yeah, aside from that, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Yeah, I think that's just about everything. So yeah, I shall see you guys in the next stream, and I will check you guys out in the next video. Make sure you guys eat some good food, stay hydrated, and get some good sleep. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye!